Good morning, good morning, good morning. Apologize if there's a faint sound of mowers in the background. I live out on the golf course here and they're out early. Um, Wanted to connect this morning with a bit of career advice, if you will. I've been thinking about this one a lot. And it more revolves around who you are as a person. There's a lot of statements out there and quotes about do what you love, never work a day in your life. But what about everybody else that's kind of in the middle that's saying, I'm trying to figure out just what that is, but I want to bring myself along with it? So, to quote some cinematic genius here, in the great movie You, Me, and Dupree, Owen Wilson's character talks about never lose your ness. What is your ness? Your ness is your name plus ness. So for me, it's my Zac-ness. And I've quite literally thought about this a lot. And it plays out into who we are every single day. And for me, my Zac-ness, that's your brand. It's what you carry with you. And sometimes, we can get a little off track. We can be taken astray. You can get stressed. You get really busy. You've got the kids. And you feel like you're kind of losing your way. So what I want you to be able to do is, here's a few strings to pull to think about pulling you back. And again, this is just for me. But I think you can bring it to life in your own example. So what's in my Zac-ness? I go all the way back to when I was a little kid, right? And this literally plays out every single day in what I do. So not only is it what I love, but I think it's where I add value to any organization I've ever been a part of. So as a little kid, I'm a doodler, I'm a drawer, I'm a sketcher. I'm an incredibly visual person, and I can tell you ever since I've had a pen or pencil in hand, I've always been drawing something. Half of my college notebooks have sketches of caricatures of the professor. What does that mean? That's who I am. It's part of how I think. It's part of how I deliver a story. And so I don't let go of that. I use it all the time. The visual nature of what I do, it's probably a standing joke with clients. If clients are watching this, you know this. The joke is, of people I've worked with, I've never seen a whiteboard that I didn't like, especially a blank one. And so when the opportunity presents itself in a meeting, or I feel as though we're communicating potentially but not getting it all socialized in a visual manner, up to the whiteboard I go. When I think about my career and the work that I've been able to do in advertising in the marketing space, it is 100% who I am. When I was a kid, I went back and I just took a look at test scores. There are two things that I tested out very, very high as a student, and I'm not saying schools will give you everything, but in this instance, it's a pretty good barometer. Math, science, and a third one there I would throw in art. So I've always been good with numbers. I've always had curiosity in terms of science and testing and some things of that nature. And again, on the art side, what is advertising? Depending on who you ask, it's 50% art, 50% science. It's part of who I am. I gravitating toward the business world of what I do on a daily basis. I've always liked the idea of making money. I've always loved the idea of taking $1 and turning it into $5, or taking a look at a problem set and saying, if it's here today, how can we elevate it? How can we make it more efficient? How can we tell a better story? How can we focus the narrative? How can we increase sales? Can we package it better? These are all parts to bringing me back to my nest, right? So it doesn't play out that way every single day, though, right? Days go by, weeks, and then months, and potentially years. And if you find yourself not being more of who you are, I encourage you to go back to your childhood. Look at the things that you're passionate about, right? You might say, well, I'm in said job. I totally get it. If you've got bills to pay, not everybody can say, I'm going to go be a serial or solo entrepreneur on the internet and make all this money. It's not real for most people. So you've got a job, you've got bills to pay. But it doesn't mean you have to give up your nest. Bring it with you. Make it unique. Again, it's the brand you carry with you every single day. And it can evolve over time. But there are those pieces, those unique elements to your DNA that no one else can deliver. And it's up to you to let the world see them. So go back to your childhood. Think about the things that light your fire, that turn you on, that ignite your passion. Think about things you've just done really well, because I think as you look at fitness, and a lot of people when they go into the gym and they say, well, what workouts do you do? Well, I do A, B, and C. There's going to be a couple things most likely that are in common. One, they're good at them, so therefore they're a little easier, and so they do more of them. People tend to stray away from the hard. So again, if it's something that you excel in, that is something that's unique to your personality and passion, you can be creative and an accountant. As odd as that sounds, somewhere there's a unique way for you to bring that talent to life, and that is your ness. So don't lose your ness. If you've lost it, press pause, go back, look at who you've been, look at who you've evolved to be, look at some of the things that you've tested out, even if you want to go back in your education to find, use them. And then say, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and then mold that into your opportunities going forward. Nothing is static, nothing stays still, it's growing and or shrinking. And so find a way to insert that into your daily life, and don't be surprised if you don't find yourself a little happier in the process. Have a good day. Go get it.